Hey guys, Lee here from PreSonus, and I'm here today with Carla Brunell. Carla's from Dublin City, where I live. She's going to record a song for us today off a new album she has coming out called Black Love, and the song is called Morning Sun. Yep. So we're going to use the new AudioBox iTwo to record today. And what we're going to try and demonstrate is the idea of riff to release, where, you know, basically you can get an idea, you come up with a riff or an idea for a song, and if you're traveling or in your house, you can easily use the audio box to get the idea down, then transfer it to Studio One, get a mix with EQ and compression, and get a professional sounding mix, and you can upload it then to Nimbit. It's for sale, all within like a few hours, you know. So the idea is get from riff to release in your own space without having to spend too much money on equipment, but all with professional results. So as I said, we're using the AudioBox iTwo today. So this is the new version of our AudioBox. And the cool thing with this is it actually connects to the iPad, so we can record directly into our iPad now. It also allows you to record into your Mac or PC also via USB if you want. So on this iTwo, we've got two mic inputs which are on combo jacks. So you can plug your XLR or jack in. We've got instrument level switches. We've also got a mix button which allows you to set the amount of volume of your live input and your playback music, so you can get your sound just right when you're recording. Dedicated headphone amp with volume. And on the back here you'll see we've got on the iTwo there's MIDI in out, so you can do a lot of recording with this box. You can trigger samples, record instruments, record guitars, record condenser mics. We've got 48 volts also. So as I said, this device port here allows you to connect to the iPad. So with every iSeries box you buy, you get a free download of Capture. So Capture is our recording software for the iPad. Capture Duo comes free, which allows you to record 2 tracks at a time. But you can also upgrade to Capture for iPad, which allows you to record 32 tracks. So we are going to use the full version of Capture today. So if you can see here, I'm just going to set up a session for Carla. So I basically click the plus button and the session opens straight away with my 2 inputs already set. So you can see PreSonus iTwo input 1 and input 2. So I'm going to name the session Morning Sun. Then I'm going to name each track. And the reason I'm doing this is because when I transfer this to Studio One, it will open a file with the session already named and the tracks already named. So it's really quick to get working and set up in Studio One. So we've got our 2 tracks set up. Okay, so I think my setup with the mics, I've basically got a condenser mic and a pencil condenser mic on the guitar. So we're using the PreSonus M7 on vocal, which actually sounds really nice on Carla's voice. So I think we're pretty much ready to do a take. Okay, cool.
Just clear my throat.
So yeah, so this is Morning Sun.
Okay. Okay, good to go.
There's no point in hiding, 'cause I know you're around. There's no point in crying, I take you closer to the ground. You're full of fear, my friend. I'm on the outside this time, 'cause you cried out war in the morning sun. 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 I'm not full of wisdom, but I use what I know. You won't see me crying for you. I'm not your fool anymore. I'm tired of you taking my time, but I'll forgive you someday. There's no place for keeping the peace. We're right on our own again, 'cause you cried out war in the morning sun. War in the morning sun. War in the morning sun. War in the morning sun.
Pretty sweet.
Sorry, one.
That was great. Really good. Cool.
I think it was okay.
It was really good. It was amazing. And so,
I'm kind of feeling it now.
feeling the vibe. Okay, so what we're gonna do is you're cool to overdub.
Yep.
So we're gonna overdub a bit of guitar. Whereabouts?
Towards the end.
Okay, so after you sing.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm gonna set up another track. And oops. We'll call this. Is it a solo or is it an embellishment or?
Yeah. Embellishment.
I can't spell embellishment, so we go with solo. So, okay. So we can see in Studio 1, it's going to line it up. I've selected input 1 is already actually selected. I record enable. And then we are pretty ready to go, I think.
Good stuff.
So you might need to use your headphones for this.
Yeah.
You good?
Cool. Yeah.
Okay, so it's just pretty much at the end, ready to go. Okay.
War in the morning sun. War in the morning sun.
Sweet. Okay, cool. So now we have our 3 tracks in the iPad. So the coolest thing about Capture for the iPad is that now we basically if we want to get our tracks out of the iPad and get them into Studio One, we don't have to email them or start, exporting them via iTunes or anything like that. We basically just select this tab, the square with the arrow at the top right hand side. This Studio One icon will pop up and my MacBook appears, Lee's MacBook. Basically I just press this button And now we can see on the screen at Studio One, the tracks are automatically starting to transfer. So the iPad is connected wirelessly to our router, and also the MacBook is connected wirelessly to the same router. So that's the connectivity between the two devices. So we can see the files just being uploaded here. Now our session opens. It's already named Morning Sun, and each track is already individually named as well. So it's so quick, just one click of a button and the session is open, ready to continue on working on this song. So we can start recording more, or just get straight into mixing, EQ and compression and effects, all that type of thing. So also Studio One Artist comes free included with the iSeries AudioBox. So again, a really powerful tool for both recording at professional quality. It's got Class A preamps, so straight away your recordings are going to sound pro. Then you've got all the tools you need to finish off your session with proper mixing and getting it down to a really good quality master. So let's get started on this track. I'm just going to do some basic EQ and compression and add some effects. So the song wasn't very dynamic in terms of being very loud or very quiet in sections, so we don't have to do too much. It sounded pretty good straight away recorded into the mic, so I'm just going to do some basic EQ and compression. So for the vocal, I'm actually going to not do any compression because it sounds really nice, and there's no loud section. So I'm just going to I have a high pass kind of setup done here, so just to cut out any kind of low rumble or pops that happened in the mic. So that's pretty basic EQ. So also I have a setting here for the acoustic that worked pretty well. So I've just cut a little bit out at 2.5K to pull any harshness out of the recording, and just a small cut on the low end just to cut out any rumble again. And I'll use the same setting for the small solo section at the end. Okay, so the solo section at the end we can see is kind of a little bit lower in level. So if we just click on the box, we really quickly select this tab and push up, and we just increase our volume that quick. So again, everything is so easy to use here. Just click, drag and drop. So already I've EQ'd 3 tracks in the last, under a minute. So I'm going to put a little bit of compression on the acoustic, and I'm going to use the multi-band dynamics. And the setting I've used basically is just pulling back on the highs and mids, because there's some kind of slapping that's been done while we're playing, and the strings are kind of a little bright. So it sounds really nice. I'm just going to take it back a little bit so it's more controlled sounding. I'll do the same on this solo. Okay, so
There's no point in hiding.
okay. So let's put a little bit of effect. So I'm just going to use a basic reverb. So I just click in the mixer window here, right click, add effects channel. And now I just need to insert my effect that I want to use. So I have a setting here that worked as well, which I've called Carla Bright Reverb. Again, it's just a very basic reverb. You can obviously get more intricate and more detailed in your mixing within Studio One, but just to show you for illustration purposes. So if I select Carla Vocal, send to effects 1, and now that's my send level. So let's have a listen.
Hiding, 'cause I know you're around. There's no point in crying to take you closer to the ground.
Okay, and I'll just put a little
You're
bit
full
on the acoustic as well.
of fear, my friend. I'm on the outside this time, 'cause you cried out war in the morning sun. War in the morning sun. War in the morning
solo section at the end as well.
War in the morning, in the morning sun.
Okay, so that's all pretty basic stuff, but I don't think we need too much on this track. So up on the top right hand side here, we can see we've got our start page. That's where we kind of open our initial track, and we can set up our audio card and our sample rates and set up our whole session file. Then we've got our song tab, which brings us into our song. But on the right then we've got our project file. So if we select this basically allows us to set up a page for mastering the track. So let's call this Morning Sun. So I've already made a mix down of the track just to save us some time. So I'm just going to drag this straight in here. Now we can see the track appears in our timeline on the bottom. And as we drag more tracks in, they will appear along this timeline for mastering. So if I expand it out, I'm able to do some basic editing to the start and the finish and some fade out stuff as well. So let's just check how we're finishing out. Cool. So let's just trim the start as well. And I mean, it's really cool. We can do this just so quickly within the project page.
Okay.
Just click this icon.
Good to go.
Cool. So within the project page now, we can start adding plugins for our mastering. So we can add EQs and limiters and compressors as we need. So again, just for illustration, I'll show you a basic setup. I'm going to put a limiter on the track, which I've got a setup that works. One we made earlier. And an EQ. So again, I've got a preset, Carla Master EQ. It kind of just basically gives a little bit of air to the track. Nothing too major.
There's no point in hiding, 'cause I know you're around.
Okay, so now we have our track recorded, mixed and mastered, all using products that came with the AudioBox i series. So now we have the option to burn to a CD, or we can just save the audio file to our computer. But today we want to actually finish by loading up our track onto the internet for sale. So this digital release button within the project page, just click on this. And now we have the option to upload to Nimbit or upload to SoundCloud. So we're going to select Nimbit today. And the file is getting transferred. Our sign-in page pops up. And now we're in Nimbit. Our track is here. We can choose to add some more details, such as year or songwriter. You can put in ISRC codes and any other information you think is needed, and just click upload. So now our track is starting to upload to Nimbit and will be up within the next couple of minutes. So yeah, so that's the idea of Riff to release. I mean, you can just get started with your basic idea, get recording with high-end results. We have the software included here where you can mix and master, and then all within the same software, bounce straight up to the internet for sale without having to use various programs or, you know, export tracks in or out of different programs. So it's all very easy workflow, so you can keep your, you know, your focus, your attention on the important part, which is your creativity. Okay, so thanks guys for joining us today, and thanks a million to Carla Brunell for coming in to record her song for us today. So do check out, you'll be able to download this song that Carla recorded today on nimbitmusic.com/Carla Brunell, and you can check out her new album there also called Black Love. So we'll see you again next time on PreSonus Live. Thanks guys.